So anyway, she took me to the doctor, and she asked him about it, told him about it. And he said, well, said he didn't know, because he wasn't no psychiatrist, but said she might ought to just rent another house since she's just renting, and moved me away from there. And so after a little while, she found another house, and she moved me away from there. Well, on years later, after I growed up, married, and had 2 little boys, I had set up an appointment at a beautician to get my hair done. And my youngest son was so small, he had to sit on my lap while the lady was doing my hair. And so she said, and my other little boy was standing nearby, and that woman said to him, said, you want me to tell you a real ghost story that happened to me when I was a little girl? And you know, the little boy said yes, my little boy said yes. So she started talking, and she had lived in that house when she was about 12. The same house that this mean man had built. And so she told the same story that I had told my mother about seeing the form and about the time of night that it come, and it was in the shape of a woman, but long things hanging down from her arms. And she motioned for her to come through that French door. And so I just sat there and cold chills run all over me. And because this woman told my story when I had never saw this woman in my life, or had never spoke a word previous of going to her for hair care. Well, then on some years later, my 2 sons were older, and my husband and my 2 sons and I were getting wood and taking it and delivering it to people to burn in the wintertime, big truckloads of wood. Well, I'd take the calls about the wood and write down the directions to where they wanted it brought to. So when it come time to deliver this load of wood, we of course got the wood on the truck and took it to the house, and it was the same house that I lived in that I saw the ghost at when I was 12. And I said, I'd always let my husband and sons unload the wood while I'd go in and collect the money for the truckload of wood. And when I went inside, I got to talking to the lady of the house, and I said, well, do you like living here? I lived here when I was a little girl. And she said, yeah, I like it fine, except my daughter said she acts like she's lost her mind or something, and we're probably going to move because she tells about this woman ghost that comes and visits her every night about 11 o'clock, and she's got long things hanging from her arms,